called Bridging to Business. There is good news as Ondokuz Mayıs University, aka OMU, will be admitting more than 300 students from Uganda, Nadia and Malka. And in studio today, I'm joined by Mr. Tolga ARSLAN, the University East African Coordinator, plus Mr. Luja David Serunkuma, one of the university facilitators. Welcome to the show, Mr. Tolga.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thank you, Ms.
Good to know. And welcome, Mr. Luja.
Thank you. It's nice being here too.
Excellent. All right, let's take a look at Ondokuz Mayıs University, and we'll be right back. It has been quite an interesting view of the university. So, Mr. Tolga, where exactly is the university located in Turkey? And what's really unique about the university?
Ondokuz Mayıs University is located in the city of SAMSUN. SAMSUN is in the northern part of the country. It's by the Black Sea, and it's at the heart of the Black Sea region, and we can consider it as the capital of the Black Sea region. And what is unique about our university is that we offer very high quality, advanced education at very affordable, very low costs.
That's quite interesting. When you talked about the Black Sea, as I told you earlier, I thought the water is black. And Mr. Luja, so how do you come to know about the university, and how come you're the go-to person in Uganda for administration and all the programs running in Uganda?
I think it was just sheer luck, because it all started with the lockdown, the first lockdown here in Uganda. And having some teenage young boys who are growing up, I was trying to figure out how best to tame them or to do. And having been to Turkey as a tourist on my vacation, it's the first place that came to my mind. And that's how I managed to...
Well, Mr. Lydia, looking into the camera, I really want our viewers to understand how exactly you got into the university programs. And
so I took them there because on vacation I had read so much about Turkish university, Turkish education and everything. So I took them there, and by taking them there, I think the reception I got from the Ondokuz Mayıs administration was so good that we started interacting, and that's when I discovered that it was much cheaper to educate a child in Turkey, that is in general, and in Mayıs, Ondokuz Mayıs in particular. So I got in touch with the administration, and that's how I got to know or to interact with the administration, and that's how I started working with them to see that I bring the same opportunity.
Mr. Tolga, so what is the university's academic capacities, and how is the registration?
Thank you. I will give you a brief summary of the academic structure of the university and the numbers.
Okay.
We have 52,000 students and 2,500 academic staff members. We have, at the moment, these are the active numbers, 261 international students coming from 114 countries. These 5,261 students, international students, makes my university the 5th university in Turkey in terms of international student numbers. We have 19 faculties. We have 12 vocational schools. These are 2-year programs.
Okay.
We have 24 research centers. We have 1 conservatoire and a school of foreign languages. And when I check my notes, because we have a lot, as I mentioned, we have 19 faculties. Our main strength is our medicine, Faculty of Medicine, but we are very well known in Turkey, in my country, for our medical training. We are regarded as top 10 medical universities in my country. Also, we can be seen as within the top 200 medical universities in the world too. There are some rankings on it. We have, in addition to medicine, dentistry, engineering departments, arts departments, School of Business, Humanities, Social Sciences, Health Sciences. Health Sciences is where nurses and midwives are trained. Divinity. Our divinity is, of course, based on Islamic theology.
Oh, really?
Yes. Turkey's population is 98% Muslims, so we emphasize Islamic theology as well. And about the registration process, we are conducting our own international selection, student selection examination. And we use our own examination to choose international students. And this examination, and registration procedures is pretty straightforward and very easy. For example, we will be conducting our examination this year. It is called OMÜ-YÖS. This examination will be on
Say it again.
OMÜ-YÖS.
Okay.
This will be on 21st of May, and the deadline for the applications is 23rd of April. So if a student wants to be registered with us at our university, first he should take the examination, get a good result, preferably,
Okay.
and then of course he or she needs a high school diploma, and that's it. We don't ask anything extra.
Well, as we've seen on the screen, what's the maximum students' capacity for the university?
We actually, I'm proud to say, in terms of international student intake, we are one of the leading universities, not in just Turkey, but in the world. For example, each year we take more than 200 students just for our Faculty of Medicine.
Oh, wow.
This is a huge number because generally universities take like 20 to 30 international students a year to their medical departments. We are doing 200 just for medicine, and in addition we have dentistry, we have nursing, midwifery, so health related areas have huge numbers, and we can easily take more than 5,000 international students a year.
All right.
I'm sorry, just a quick note. Our OMÜ-YÖS examination, last year 10,000 students took it, and we are doing it in 65 different countries throughout the world. So students can easily take this examination. It will be also in Uganda, and that's the criteria, just an examination and a high school diploma.
So, Mr. Tolga, talking about the 5,000, is it 52,000?
The main population is at the moment 52,000.
Yeah, 52,000 students. So, what is the education, what is the vision for the university and the policy that you're working with?
First of all, the general policy is to be an aspired, internationally recognized. We are internationally recognized, but we want to be one of the leading universities in the world.
Bigger.
Going bigger, even bigger. We are big enough in our country, but it's not enough for us.
Okay.
But we want to excel at this training, education, and research fields. And we want to raise a new generation of graduates that are that will be equipped with the best knowledge there is, but in addition they should also protect their core values, their cultures, because we are an international university. We have students from 114 countries, so our policy, especially in terms of international student policy, is to protect each and every single international student's identities, their cultures, their religions. We are very proud that we are doing our best to protect these elements as well.
All right, Mr. Luja, getting back to you. So, what is your exact role in terms of the university, programs running, especially here in Uganda?
Yeah, one of the roles that I play in doing that is to coordinate the activities of the university here in Uganda. For instance, as Mr. Tolga has pointed out, there is going to be an interview or an exam for pre-entry for the students of Uganda to enter into the Ondokuz Mayıs University. So it means that I have to coordinate to see how we reach schools, how we reach out to those who would really want to get on board in the university. That's one. Two, there are so many activities that are involved, including the registration,
And sorry to interject, but considering the registration has been mentioned to be online, so how exactly do you come in to help these students?
Yeah, what Mr. Tolga hasn't mentioned yet is that there is a fee, though negligible, that one has to pay in order to be considered duly registered. To do that, under normal circumstances, by European standards, one would have to have a credit card, and in Uganda, not very many people have that kind of facility.
Yeah.
So here, my role is to have that money, deposit it on my account, and then see to it that it is paid to the university. That is one of the many roles that I play. Two, I have to see that centers are set up, exam centers.
Okay.
That is because these are face-to-face exams. They have to sit. We have to organize where they can sit, how they can sit, which are the centers, how these people who would come with the exams, because representatives from Ondokuz, Mayıs have to come all the way from Turkey to bring these exams. So I have to see to it that these exams are done, as Mr. Tolga will mention it, they are done in one day all over the world at the same time, which means that a lot of coordination has to be done to see that the students are in place, the exams are in place at that particular time when they say they have to be opened, because they are opened at the unsealed at the same time all over the world, done at the same time, and they end at the same time.
All right, that is quite an interesting role. So getting back to Mr. Tolga, what are some of the exchange programs that you offer?
We have several exchange programs. Of course, the first one I have to mention is the Erasmus program. It's a European Union funded program.
Okay.
And my university has 283 Erasmus agreements with European universities, so our students can benefit from this exchange program.
Did you say 280?
283, yes.
Oh, okay.
Just for Erasmus program. And by the way, we have received a certificate of excellence in conducting the Erasmus exchange program
Congratulations.
last year. Thank you very much. We got a perfect 100 score out of 100.
Okay.
And this shows how we are dealing with these programs, how serious we are. And our international students have exactly the same rights with our Turkish students, so they can also benefit from exchange programs.
There is no any sort of racism or any sort of there is nothing that can limit a Ugandan or international student from accessing the same rights as a Turkish student.
As a matter of fact, Ugandan students have an advantage over Turkish students when it comes to these exchange programs. We can call it a positive discrimination, maybe. The thing is, to benefit from these exchange programs, a student must have a minimum B2 level English. And many Turkish students don't have that, but Ugandans have. So actually, Ugandan students are luckier than Turkish students when it comes to these exchange programs. And hopefully, I'm inviting you to Turkey, to my city and my university. My people, especially the people of my city, are very curious about foreign nationals, especially Africans. They are very welcoming to them. Whenever they see an African in their city, they just invite them for a cup of tea or coffee. They want to chat with them, even though they don't speak the language. There is no racism in my country and city, and the students are very welcome there. In addition to the Erasmus program, we have two other Turkish government's programs.
Okay.
These are Mevlana and Farabi. Farabi is a local exchange program. It means my students can join this exchange program and can go to another Turkish university for 6 months or a year.
Oh.
Erasmus is international, Farabi is local. Mevlana is the counterpart of Erasmus. Erasmus is funded by the European Union. Mevlana is funded by Turkish government, and with the Mevlana exchange program, the student can again do exchanges all over the world. But I must note that due to the recent earthquakes, these two Turkish programs have been put on hold. But
that's unfortunate.
yes, but hopefully once we recover, we will again initiate these programs. And lastly, in addition to these national programs and the European Union program, we have bilateral agreements, collaboration agreements. These are just signed between my university and another university without the involvement of other groups. We have 130 of these exchange and collaboration agreements too. So, in a nutshell, we offer an extensive array of exchange programs.
Well, the university ensures that there is no discrimination at any one point, and exactly after the break we shall get more clarification on who exactly qualifies for the application. Mr. Tolga, so tell us more. Who qualifies for the applications?
Like I said, there are two requirements, a high school diploma and the OMU US exam. To qualify for the exam, actually you don't need anything. Anyone can take this examination. There's only a $30 exam fee, which is normally $100 for the world, but we lowered it to $30 for African countries.
So, Mr. Tolga, looking into the camera, you were saying we do not need anything much.
No, we don't need anything much. And I must explain this too, why we are charging $30, because there is one thing I have to underline. I will also mention this when I'm going to talk about our tuition fees.
Okay.
We are a research and education university. Our focus, our primary interest is in research and education. To do this, we are receiving a huge budget from our government. That's why we do not need any extra income. This is the same with this examination. In our first years, like 20 years ago, when we did this examination for the first time, we were not very experienced, so we, in line with our mission to spread education to the world, we made this exam for free. Then what happened was thousands of people applied, but nobody showed up.
Really?
To take the exam, because when something is free, they just, okay, write my name down too, but they don't show up. So to prevent this, to just find out who are really serious about this, that's why we are applying this fee. Otherwise, we are not profiting from it too. So one last time, to qualify, you need this examination and a high school diploma.
Oh, that's quite, something easy to get.
Very
and our viewers, the university is getting support from the government. So the funds that you need are only $30,000, sorry, and this is something attainable, right? And diploma level education, a certificate in your Form 6 and the $30, and then you're good to go. All right, Mr. Ludia, you talked about your experience in Turkey, and what are some of the challenges that a student, can expect maybe to go through, and what are the arrangements for helping these students overcome these challenges?
Yeah, I think challenges aren't that many as long as one is a focused student.
Okay.
Though I must mention that the Turkish people are really very keen on their cultural norms. For instance, relationships that is between foreign students, usually I think they are for those who are willing at the end of the day, maybe if they will get married or what. So these normal relationships.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, sort of.
Yes. So these are people who are really very conservative in their cultural norms and what have you.
And so morals is
Yes. Another thing is they believe in serious students. When you go to Turkey to study, it should be studying. This business of manufacturing reasons not to attend lectures, I think, is a no-go area in Turkish universities, because
when you say manufacturing students, in my head I was manufacturing children.
No, I mean manufacturing reasons not to attend lectures. You see, here in Uganda, I think we are very good at manufacturing reasons not to do something.
Exactly.
Yes, we are very good at that. We're very talented indeed. So they are, at least their system, they are very systematic that you cannot tell a lie that you've been to hospital. Of course, wherever you are, of course, the records would be there as to whether you are indeed sick or indeed that you are in hospital. So as long as one is focused. So this non-attendance of lectures, considering our Ugandan community, is maybe the challenge, but with others, these are the people who are very, very hospitable. They are very keen on meeting foreigners, very keen, and they are very happy at least living with other people.
Okay, that is quite something, considering we need to see excellence at the university. So it makes sense when you say, we follow up and see that it is the serious students coming up. So are there organizations in Turkey, Mr. Tolga, that are following up on students in Uganda, and just in case of any problem?
Well, we are not just focusing on one nation per se, Uganda, but we are doing it in a more general way. First of all, our International Relations Office has an international student office in it. This office's whole purpose is to be there for our international students. For example, as you will know, also as you know, when you go to another country to study, first of all, you are out of your element, you are out of your culture, everything is new to you, alien to you, and maybe you are shy, and students might panic and fall into despair as well. To prevent this, what we do is we do all the government formalities for them. For example, if the student, naturally, the student has to apply for a permission to stay in the country, we do it for the student. The student doesn't have to go to the government's office, to the police. He will just come to, or she will come to the International Relations Office, do the paperwork there, and we do the rest. In addition, we have these groups of students, like student societies. They just focus, some of these student societies just focus on international students to help them. These students can really benefit from their friends, because they would know better than about their needs than us. We also have this kind of arrangement, and we also have this system. We have some regional desks, we call them in Turkish. Let's say East Africa desk, Europe desk. So every year, all our international students hold an election in between themselves, like the United Nations, and each particular region
is represented.
Chooses his own president, their own president. So maybe you become the East African president for Ondokuz Mayıs University, and we gave them a very big office. Each of these presidents have their own desk, so they coordinate their own regions. They get in touch with their own student groups, so they also help each other a lot. So we have a layered system, as you can see. First, we help them as university, then the student associations, and this organization helps our international students with whatever problems they might face.
That is quite interesting. And coming back to Mr. Luja, are there particular organizations in Uganda that are bringing up this support for the Ugandan students?
Yeah, like Mr. Tolga has mentioned it, there are so many Ugandans out there, at least that I know of, in the student association of the entire Turkey as a country, who are trying to help more. So if one lands himself in a problem there, they help out. For instance, during the past earthquake, I know of a young man, Hamza, who really was in that city that was razed down. And as we speak now, he was helped out and he's in safe hands. In fact, he's even in SAMSUN as we speak right now. So there are organizations of Ugandans out there that help out.
So, Mr. Luja, being one of the recommenders for Ugandan students to go and study in Turkey, have you seen any of these students going and they end up not studying, or just maybe they engage in criminal activities or anything beyond university programs?
Maybe in such cities like Istanbul, but with Samsun, Samsun is just a beautiful city with people who are very, very peaceful. At least there, even when you go there, the environment itself, the quietness there, at least everything. As a matter of fact, I've never heard of any problem, or I've never seen anywhere where a foreigner, not only a Ugandan, but even any other foreigner being, because they are a closed kind of society, they live in their peace.
Oh, wow, even for our Ugandans.
Yeah.
And so if in case anything like criminality happens, which measures do you have? What do you do about it as a university?
I think if it's a police case, usually under normal circumstances, I wouldn't expect foreign students or foreigners to play by the rules. I expect under normal circumstances, where the rules are, people must follow the rules. That's what I expect, yeah. I don't think that there should be this kind of being overboard on anything, not to be touched or because one is a foreigner, no.
And are there any, Mr. Tolga, is there any sort of support extended to the foreign students in terms of education costs and accommodation?
Thank you for asking this question, because this is something we are very proud of.
Okay.
We are not offering scholarships. I must repeat this. We are not offering any scholarships in the traditional sense. I have observed that generally when it comes to international education, whenever I make my presentations or we have these talks, chats, the very first question, even before listening about the facilities, the university, the education, the very first question is, do you have scholarships and all? We don't. The reason is, I must take my notes.
Okay.
I will just give you a few numbers of our tuition fees, and maybe you can answer if you need a scholarship or not.
Right.
For example, our faculty of engineering, architecture, and health sciences, for example, health sciences, nursing, midwifery, these three faculties are 1.9 million shillings a year.
Okay.
1 year, paid in 2 installments.
All right.
And no additional costs. I have noticed something funny for us. I'm sorry to mention this. I have visited some very famous, considered one of the best universities in Uganda. And the first thing I've noticed is their tuition fees are at least 3 times than ours. And the second thing is it doesn't...
You're serious?
Yes, and the second thing is it doesn't just stop there. I mean, you need a transcript of records, okay, you have to pay 115 more.
Yeah.
Do you need a library card? 75,000 more. Do you need this? 50. That, 100. With our university,
you just hit the nail.
we are just asking one payment, that's the tuition fee. For example, a PhD program in Turkish is 1.1 million shillings a year, paid in 2 installments.
And before you go far, how are the semester timings?
We have 2 semesters. They are spring and fall semesters. Spring semesters generally begins late September, and the fall semester generally begins either late February or early March. And ends in my university mid to late June. So there are 2 semesters, and the most expensive education is naturally the Faculty of Medicine, and it's 10 million shillings a year if it is done in Turkish, paid in 2 installments. Faculty of Management is 1.1 million shillings. So with these competitive prices, because I have been visiting Ugandan high schools, government high schools.
And they're quite more expensive than
The high schools, the government high schools, not the private ones,
it's disappointing.
are more expensive than, for example, a PhD program in my university or an agriculture program in my university. An agriculture program in my university is 1.5 million shillings a year.
Wow.
So a dentistry program is 7.8 million shillings a year. So with these prices, actually, another question, which is best? Giving scholarships to 10 Ugandan students and forgetting about the rest, or giving these tuition fees, so hundreds of students can benefit. I think this approach is better because we are trying to reach as many students as possible, and we see that this is the way. And you also ask about accommodation and also other expenses. Let me just also mention that one.
Okay.
For example, in my country we have government dormitories. They are called KYK dormitories. These KYK, perfect.
KYK.
I think you have an aptitude to Turkish as well, so.
Because I'm coming.
Okay, next maybe our next interview chat will be in Turkish then.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So, a government dormitory in my country costs more or less 98,000 shillings a month.
All right.
And
98.
the other thing I'm going to say maybe will shock you. This 98,000 shillings also gives these students free breakfast and lunch.
Also, do they cook for themselves?
No,
or
no, no.
it's-
We have these dining halls inside the dormitories, and their meals are cooked for them, like in a dining hall or in a restaurant. They just go and they get their breakfast in the morning.
So we
They're
do not
gonna-
expect any sort of student
No.
malnutrition happening.
Another thing to prevent this, we are among top 200 universities in the world in terms of preventing hunger in the world, and hunger among students are students.
That's very interesting.
To achieve this, we have a main dining hall next to our university hospital. I will talk about my hospital as well. It's very interesting.
Okay.
This main dining hall can host 5,000 students at the same time. In addition, as you will remember, we have 19 faculties. Every faculty in my university has their own dining halls.
Okay.
So in these dining halls, a 4-course set menu, like a soup, main dish, side dish, and a dessert, it's 1,000 shillings. This 4-course meal,
serious.
1,000
Mr.
shillings.
Luja.
Dead serious.
We are,
It's true?
we are losing money with every single meal we are giving.
Okay.
But as you will remember, we are not trying to profit from education. And one last thing to add, if you are coming from a very poor family and you come to our office and say, okay, this meal 1,000 shillings, very cheap, but I cannot afford
can still not afford
even
the
this
1,000.
one. We are giving free meals to these types of students. At the moment, there are 3,000 students who are benefiting from this project. We are giving them special ID cards, dining hall cards, and with them, with these cards, they can just go to the dining hall, just slide
I see
it
why
and
you're
get.
going to get, and you're still having lots of students applying.
So these 3,000 students are getting free food, lunch and dinner, and lastly, if that's not enough, we also have a students boutique, it's called in Turkish, öğrenci butiği. This boutique is like a clothes shop, a mid-sized clothing shop, and there are all t-shirts, dresses, shoes, everything brand new, not second-hand or used. And these 3,000 students can go there and pick 3 items a year.
Oh, the ones that are taking the free meals.
Exactly. They can take anything. They want a coat, some new shoes, a pair of shoes. They can get them for free as well. So these are the aids we are providing to our students, so that they won't need anyone else, so they should just focus on their training. And now, while I was talking, I remember another good initiative we have. Our main library is the biggest library in the Black Sea region, university library, housing millions of books, a million books, not millions. But our students, when they become our students, they also can access European and world university library systems too. But the thing related to this topic we are talking about is the library is open 24 hours, and especially after 8 p.m., tea, coffee, snacks and soups, different types of soups, they are available and free. They are available for free. So the only thing we ask you to is to come to the library and study. Okay, here is your tea, here is your coffee. Just you have just one thing to do. Just study. I mean, the rest is our business, our duty. So all these, we are also giving free food for the whole month, in the month of Ramadan too. So you can break your fast with us in our main dining hall. We are offering these 4-course set menus to everyone in this month for free. So with these options, I think it's impossible to...
I know, for a student to fail.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Tolga, looking at the screen, is that the boutique you are talking about?
I think this is an exhibition from our arts, Faculty of Arts. This is the traditional marbling style at the moment. This is the library. This is the entrance to the library. This is one of the reading rooms of the library. This is a mess hall from a faculty, but the one you just showed in the beginning is from an arts gallery.
So considering how cheap all these services are, why wouldn't you take yourself a chance and go study in Turkey? Mr. Tolga, before we end the show, someone would still want you to talk more about the registration and the costs, before and after registration, just for more clarity and,
Okay, thank you. If I have a few more minutes, I would like to also speak about our hospital, because we have some very good projects with Uganda, if I'm allowed.
In a few,
of course.
1-2 seconds.
It won't take 1-2 seconds.
Okay, 1-2 minutes.
1-2 minutes, because we have a main hospital which has 1,000 doctors and 700 nurses. In addition, we have 1,000 doctors, 700 of them are specialist doctors, 700 nurses. In this hospital alone, we treat more than 1 million patients every year. Conduct 34,000 surgeries every year. We have 21 operation rooms, surgery rooms. We are conducting 21 consecutive surgeries at the same time. We have 4 MRI machines, 6 tomography machines. In addition to this hospital treats more than 114 emergency patients every year. It just doesn't serve the city, it serves the entire Black Sea region and nearby countries like Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Georgia. Because the second part of the hospital is, these numbers were just for the hospital. We have a separate oncology hospital, which is quite big. The bigger one I have seen so far is the one in Chicago. I mean, it's that big. And another hospital, children's hospital. Animal hospital, dentistry hospital.
You do have a full animals hospital?
Yes, we have.
Interesting.
We have some pictures. Maybe your friends can show them, technicians show them.
See on the screen.
We have a fully equipped operational animal hospital.
And looking at the screen, what exactly is going on? What is that you're working on?
This is, I think they are just examining the cat's eyes there. For example, I think that was a pregnant cat. So they are using these machines to check the babies.
So in the faculty?
Of course, we have an animal hospital and faculty of... the animal hospital is a separate Hospital, just like a normal hospital would be set
So
for the animals.
Is the faculty we are seeing on screen
These faculties, this one on the right is the Faculty of Arts and Letters, Science faculty. So this hospital, dentistry hospital and the others, I will not go to in detail.
Yeah.
We are offering Uganda another service too, in addition to our educational services. I have visited so far 3 Ugandan hospitals with Mr. David, and what I've seen is that the doctors here are very, very passionate, hard-working doctors, but they lack both the training and the facilities. So we spoke with the heads of these hospitals, and what I offered to them was, we have 700 specialist doctors. We have Europe, our education and health system is on par with Europe, maybe better than them in most cases. So send your doctors to my university, tell us what you want. You want to learn how to operate a machine, we will teach you. You want to learn how to conduct a surgery, specific type of surgery, we will teach you. You want to become a specialist doctor in some sort of oncology, we will do that. The training will be for free for Ugandan doctors.
Oh, that is interesting. Thank you for the generosity.
It can be a month, 1 year, it's all up to you.
All right. Just in a very few words, let's tell the viewers still more about the registration procedures and the costs involved before and after.
The registration period is very easy, pretty straightforward. Like, first, you don't have to be a graduate. You can still be a high school student. You can be in your 5th year. Take the exam. Exam is valid for 2 years. So it gives you time to think about studying abroad. You can take it this year, stay in Uganda for a year, still think about it, and the next year you can use the exam, or you are going to graduate next year, you can still take the exam. So take the exam, that's one. Get your high school diploma, that's 2. Then log into our online application system. Our university has an application web page. Log into that one. With this examination OMUs, you will be able to select from 19 other universities as well. 19 other universities in Turkey are using this examination as their first selection criteria. So these 19 universities are also using our application system. The system is like this. I log into my computer to OMUS application web page. Then the page opens, and I see all these 20 universities, quotas, everything, and I start choosing. I choose medicine from OMU, I choose dentistry from your university, agriculture from his university, then I make a selection, and our central computerized system checks the results, exam results, and high school diploma results, GPAs, everything, and our system places the students within these 20 universities. They places in according to their preferences. The students are placed in a university. So in a nutshell, taking this exam pretty much guarantees you a place in a Turkish university, because it's just not our university, 19 universities more. And unlike many European countries, because in most of these countries there are fees just to apply to a university, like you pay hundreds of dollars just to apply. It's free. You can just apply as much as you want. Application is also free. So
no more fees.
No more fees. The only fees they are going to pay is the initial $30 for the exam. Then these very low, in the region of 1.4 million shillings. For regular departments. Then this tuition fee, which will be paid in 2 installments, half in first semester, half in second semester, and that's it. No additional payments.
So if in case I'm unable to get to Turkey, can I enroll in the distance education system?
Normally we are capable of online education systems. We were doing it during the COVID lockdowns, but our management prefers face-to-face education at this particular time. But as a good news, before I came to Uganda, I attended a meeting, and the result was we are planning to open master's and PhD programs online programs, but for bachelor's students have to still come to Turkey.
Vice versa.
Yes.
All right. So until another time, this is let's get the rewinding remarks from Mr. Luja and Mr. Tolga. Mr. Luja.
Yeah, I think the ideas are always there. It's upon us to go out and grab them.
Exactly. All right, Mr. Tolga, your last remarks.
Well, we are waiting for you to come to Turkey and be our students.
Yeah.
And we would very much love to see more Ugandans in my country and my university.
Oh, all right. Okay, so it is very cheap to get into the university. The programs are very interesting for the science and art students, and accommodation is also very easy to, facilitate and very cheap. There is food, no malnutrition happening, no racism or any sort of discrimination. I do not really see why you do not take up this opportunity as a Ugandan student.